Hi, I'm Andrew Callahan. I'm a high priest in good standing in the Mormon Church. Some of you also probably know me as Flatlander because I blog on a number of Mormon-related websites or blogs under that screen name. I say I'm a Mormon and a high priest in the Mormon Church in good standing, and that's true. However, by the time you watch this video, it might not be true because my bishop came by last week and told me that they plan on excommunicating me. They didn't tell me exactly why they plan on excommunicating me, but I did get the impression that it has something to do with my speaking out against the church's stance on Proposition 8 in California. The church is supporting the gay marriage amendment to take the civil marriage rights away from gays and lesbians. I'm opposed to that. I think it's a really dumb idea. So I've done two things to speak out against the church's stance on Proposition 8. First, I got together with a group of very bright people, very hardworking people, and we built a website. I say we, but mostly it was them because the old Flatlander, he's not too bright. So we got these other people. They did good work. They worked really hard, and we put together a website where people can come and sign for something and sign their name to say they oppose the church's stance on Proposition 8. They are in opposition to the idea of the church's political involvement in this issue. The second thing I did, now, since I am this brain-damaged fellow, it kind of makes sense that the second idea I had would be sheer idiocy, absolute lunacy. I can't imagine anybody else trying anything quite so half-baked. And I can't imagine anybody in the entire world falling for it. But we'll talk more about that later. Now, let's talk a little bit about the Mormon Church. The culture of the Mormon Church is one of intrigue and secrecy and secret combinations and all such things. In fact, guile, deception, and lying for the Lord are all canonized in our scriptures. The Book of Mormon, for example, has heroes who do all of these sorts of things. The first example is the first great hero, Nephi, who, when he finds his cousin Laban lying helpless on the ground, and Laban has something that Nephi wants, Nephi steals Laban's sword, cuts off his head, steals his clothes, disguises himself to look like Laban, goes to Laban's house, impersonates Laban, and tricks one of Laban's servants into getting Nephi exactly what Nephi wanted. Nephi is a hero, and he used guile, deception, and trickery to get what he needed done. And he's a hero. Remember that. Now, as Mormons, it's important in our identity that we have enemies, because we are constantly fighting in this war against in this war between good and evil. And of course, in a war you always have enemies. In a war you always have spies and traitors also. And the leadership of the church is certain that we have spies and traitors within the church. So the leadership of the church came up with their own counterintelligence agency known as the Strengthening the Members Committee. This Strengthening the Members Committee keeps secret files on all of the members who speak out or in any way express dissent in the Mormon Church. How many people want to bet that old Flatlander has a file? Well, there are also, we've been told, at least 2 members of the Quorum of the 12 Apostles on this Strengthening the Members Committee. Not surprisingly, middle-level managers and administrators within the church are paranoid about this Strengthening the Members Committee, that they might start keeping files on them. They'll do anything they possibly can to avoid having records kept about them. The church leadership uses this paranoid fear that the middle managers have against them to keep them in line, to make absolutely sure that they never, ever think for themselves. Now, what about me? Well, see, I'm really no threat to the Mormon Church. The Mormon Church has 13 million members, 5